The idea is to sensitize the members of the audience to hear more, to see more, to sense more. Through that, we also hopefully become better people or more humane. If we allow some fragility to enter in or sensitivities, I think we become stronger. And then also we become richer in our perceptions of life.
Yes, so we're in Kaplitehdas, in the Tero Saarinen company's office and Danse studio. Most of the created pieces are rehearsed here and adapted here. So we have here 7380 sub. For each corner of the room there's 8341, and then the remaining of the 10 speakers on the ceiling it's 8330. And then on the floor, on stands, we have 4 S360 and then 4 8351. All of these are connected individually to the GLM network. That way we can really split the room, for example, for dance rehearsal. That half of it is the left channel and the other half is the right channel, so they all benefit the entirety of the system. And then when it's something like a sound residency, we can really go individually for each speaker, so it's highly modular. Having the possibility for such a modular surround system to act with the dancers and still have that very high-end quality in the sound, it really enhanced somehow the relation between audio and movement in the dance.
I really love working in the TSC Studio and with the sound system that's there. I work a lot with space and changing the space through dance, and whereas sound and music creates sound waves, I then think of how dance brings extra layers to this soundscape, so it can bring in different rhythms than the sound or music.
As a dancer in a process, I think that high quality sound and audio is really important and supports a lot working process, and when I'm moving and being in a space with the sound, it really helps a lot to hear clearly what the sound is and what are the different things that I need to also focus on while I'm working with the body.
Different sounds really help me to tap into movement qualities that I might be curious about, and so I can dig deeper into embodiments with the help of some sounds. And sometimes it's even a shortcut that I find a sound that really resonates in the body in a certain way, and then I search for that with the help of the sound, and then maybe at some point even get rid of the sound because I have found it in the body. And so good quality audio equipment really helps to give a wider range of what all can be explored with, and then also be as precise as possible.
If I'm working with both sound and movement myself in the same process, the sound usually start to appear for me first, and I create some kind of a tonality, textures, atmospheres, and that really goes into the body and start to resonate there, and that usually evokes the movement work.
This production started as a proposal from Kaija Saariaho, the Finnish famous composer, because I think in her way of thinking and what she was offering was a kind of synthesizing the audiences for new sounds, new colors, new possibilities. That was what struck me, that she was really opening the doors for the ears and for us to synthesize or even feel and sense the world in a different ways. And Study for Life is quite a particular work in her repertoire, since it was the first piece that she imagined also to be performed with the lighting design and then the, other art forms, and then also visual aspects. So this in a way gave me a possibility or open door to dive in and to see where this could lead into.
Study for Life is really a very exciting collaboration between dance and music and sound and movement and sound. Also this question of when does movement turn into dance and when does sound turn into music.
Our sound designer Tuomas Norvio has been working a lot also with this three-dimensional or 360 sound that it travels in the space and follows us as performers and goes with us. I think it evokes something very different in the body and really gets the sense also of this three-dimensional body, which is very much in the focus of like my interest also as a mover and dancer.
I'm Tuomas Norvio. Yeah, I've been as a resident artist in TSC Studio since 2020. That's has been a really great laboratory for my sounds. In this water installation, the centerpiece is of course the ice, and inside that there's a hydrophone. As the water melts, the drips go to a metal plate that has a piezo. So those are the two sound sources that make up the whole piece. So this is a 12.1 channel installation. First option of this installation is to create a ring of speakers and then bring people inside the ring, and then have one center speaker that's kind of representing the ice sound. But then we have different spaces, so like here it's more like a snake, so we enter the space and hopefully the audio invites to come more in the centerpiece.
Well, since the beginning of the company and then of my creations, I have been sensitive about sound. It gives me such a great pleasure and inspiration to see these young new generations which are already tuned in to hear differently, and they are, have this kind of craziness, if you like, that what could we do with the sound, and then if we can be one of these platforms together with Genelec, so then I think that's just win-win for everybody. We are sensitizing people to hear more, and by getting connected with their senses, I think we can open up, seventh sense, eighth sense, ninth sense, and then through that actually, maybe enjoy this brief moment that we are here. So.